First of all, there was this thing with Delaney Hall, 2.5 million. Still don't get it. I had a theory, and this is what I have. The long question, and actually I was hoping it'd be answered when Mr. Patterson asked on 671 about those inmates and 2.5 million to the Department of Corrections. But since it wasn't answered, I'll throw out my theory. You could tweak it if you want at the end, but I did some research on this. John J. Clancy is pretty much runs Delaney Hall. He's community education centers. Yeah, back in 2002, he gave a ton of money to the Essex County Democratic Committee and Democrats for Senate, whatever. It was like $60,000, ridiculous amount. And then Joe D, let's call, I don't know if he likes to be called Joey D or something like that, at Essex County, sent his prisoners over to Delaney Hall. And it was for a lot of money too. And apparently McGreevy, Corzine were in there, so they subsidized it. And everything was going well. Now a couple of years ago, I guess Union County was roped into this on the premise that, yeah, you get your money back, just send us your prisoners. And recently, well, in the last budget, $3 million was cut. Like you wanted to get $5.5 million for these druggies, and you only got $2.5 million. Now, yeah, this John J. Clancy is a major Democratic donor, but there's another guy at this company, William Palatucci, who's a major Republican donor. He gave, actually, if you don't count the candidates themselves and their friends and relatives, he probably gives about 50% of the money to the Union County Republican Committee. Like in the last election, well, there's something here for $40, and in 09 there was like $500, early 09 there was another $500, 08 there was like another $500, there was a $500, okay, probably more than 50%. So this guy is, Palatucci, is also Christie's mentor. He's called a mentor. There was a story in the New York Times yesterday about this company getting a contract from Essex County for $8 to $10 million, and he mentioned it was all Christie. This guy Palatucci is Christie's former law partner. He recommended him for his attorney, and he owes him everything. So those two combinations, that is, you lost your $3 million, and Palatucci being Christie, and this is where I'm guessing. This ordinance seems to say give the $2.5 million to the Department of Corrections, not Delaney Hall. So is Delaney Hall out, and are they out because of these two connections that seem pretty obvious?
Madam Chair, members of the board, in response to the citizen, I think two actually, that had questions on the $2.5 million. First and foremost, I think the one question was whether or not it was new money, and he was right in saying that we had anticipated that in the budget this year. So it was money that we anticipated, and it is effective July 1. And we're happy to have received it, obviously, because it does offset those costs that we incur as a result of sending inmates that have substance abuse issues into a treatment program that happens to be in Newark. We obviously wish that we could receive full reimbursement, as does Essex County. Another gentleman that was up here referred to the New York Times article, and I've read it. I know a number of other people have. I don't see what the relevance is between what's happened in Essex and us. We are one of the only other county, I believe, that actually does a contract with them. We're not mentioned in there, and it's a completely separate issue. The contract that we have was done through a fair and open process. It does provide a needed service for those inmates that have legitimate substance abuse issues, and if we're not that, they would be warehoused in a county jail system where they would receive no help and also create other issues for the jail director that's also in the audience. So I'm happy that we were able to get the $2.5 million in. I wish it was more, as I know we all do, and we'll keep working to make sure that we get full reimbursement, as does the other county that contracts with them at this time.
Thank you.
So You explain it to me. There's a lot of this Delaney Hall people, community education, they're really connected, but they're still giving them $2.5 million as it turns out. So that's another issue.